Well, it's also another special time of the year right now, the legislative one. The special session is behind us and Louisiana lawmakers were successful in closing the budget deficit.
This week, Karl Wiggers tells us what it took to do that and how it's going to affect you moving forward.
The view outside of the Capitol this week is quiet, but during last week's special session, it was quite a different scene. However, Louisiana's legislators did come together and make the changes necessary to get the state through the end of this fiscal year.
We applied $205 million worth of cuts. A lot of them were with the Department of Health and Hospitals. We also dipped into the rainy day fund, which if this is not a rainy day, I don't know what is. So $99 million of that is going to be used. That resolves us $304 million deficit that we have that's due June 30th.
Of that $205 million in cuts, more than $130 million were cut from the budget of the Louisiana Department of Health. LDH Chief of Staff Andrew Tizzolo says that these cuts over this short period of time are much worse than they seem.
So we're talking about basically April 1 to the end of June. It's not a lot of time. So no matter how big or small the numbers were, we were going to take this significant cut because we just didn't have a lot of time to effectuate things. So one of the major things that I think will end up being impacted by these cuts are our local governing entities. That's our districts all throughout the state that provide, up until the Medicaid expansion, really provided most of the behavioral health care for indigent and for low-income folks in a lot of communities throughout rural and urban throughout the state.
Next to the LDH, the Louisiana Department of Ag and Forestry's $1.27 million cut appears to be a win. But as Commissioner Mike Strain explains, HCR 1 may open the door to deeper cuts to vital services.
There is a resolution passed by the House and the Senate to take monies from the self-generated dedicated funds and use that to pay towards state debt. Those monies are dedicated funds for the operation of specific programs, and the farmers that pay these funds pay all other taxes in addition to these funds.
In Baton Rouge, I'm Karl Wiggers for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Again, the general public should not feel these changes at the Department of Health. For more about the special session, the cuts that were made, or the upcoming regular legislative session, you can visit our website at twilatv.org.